Here we are, guys. Welcome to Monster Motivator TV number 35. Wait till you check out this episode. We are here with my boy, Will Boudrow, better known as Big Will. How are you, Al? Good to see you, man. Now, before we jump in and before I give you a little rundown on Will, who he is, where he came from, where he's going, we have to introduce the most VIP guest here, and that's my girl, Sandy. Let's take a look, G, and show him Sandy. Now, Sandy is a 10-year-old red-nosed pit bull and Will's partner in crime, right? Is that what you say? Is that accurate? And understand, I want everyone out there to understand, anybody that follows me on social media knows how much I love animals, I love dogs, and especially pit bulls. And here's why. See, they will do anything that you ask them to do at a level that you've never seen. That's what I love about pit bulls. So if someone thinks that they can't have a pit bull as a companion, we're here to show you that you're wrong. That you just have to be able to show them and tell them what you want, so then they can make sure that they do it just like a kid, no different. It doesn't matter about the breed. It's how you raise them is what matters. So, beautiful 10-year-old Sandy, just an absolute sweetheart. So, Will, where do we even start, my man? It's as we say back east, it's been a rough paper route. It's been a rough paper route. So, but you know, as we all know, your story's not about you; it's about who you're going to help, right? And that's that's what it is. It's not about you. You got through it because now you're going to be able to, and that's what we're all about, right? And I know a little bit of your story, so I'm excited to hear myself some of the juicy stuff. And we're real, raw, and live, as you know, man. So nothing's off the table.
This is not rehearsed.
No, I don't even know what that means. So, Big Will, where are you originally from?
All over the place, really. Everybody asked me that. My dad was a Marine.
Okay. Oh, so you just traveled?
Yeah, born in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then left immediately.
Okay.
And then pretty much settled down in Dayton, Ohio when I was about 9 or 10.
So you were really a professional roadie?
Is that
but
what it wasn't my concert that I was trying to join up on.
But you just did what you were told.
Yeah,
you did what you were told.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
So, 9 years as a Marine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot, actually.
3 tours.
3 tours in active.
And then 4 tours as a civilian, right? He didn't learn his lesson. He didn't learn his lesson. You know, we have some things in common. We go to the same barber. We kind of they call us rockheads. You know, we learn the hard way, right? But you wouldn't want any other way, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you wouldn't want any other way.
It was tough.
Is that pretty accurate?
I mean, you know, everybody looks back and they wish that they could alter some things here and there.
Sure,
Everybody does.
Sure.
Everybody does.
Tweak it.
But when you alter things that or when you actually make that decision to alter things that you've done in the past and kind of redo it, you've learned from those things before, so you alter them now.
Yes. So
if you tried to, you know, if we had a time machine, you went back.
Right.
And tried to alter them before, you'd be a completely different person today.
Yeah, because you're messing with nature.
So, exactly.
Right?
You're messing with everything that changed. So, I mean, it's made me what I am today, and though I have some issues, man, it's
join the club, right?
It's making me move forward to a pretty much this vision that I got, man.
So it's more of a drive than it is.
It's turning to that.
Yeah.
It's changing to that because it used to be detrimental to my everyday life.
It was an anchor.
There were times where, dude, I didn't even want to get up off the couch, bro. Even she was looking at me like, let's go.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that, tough, right? Man. Because this is a big thing, and this is also what, besides that, also what we have in common. Because I think, if I remember, I met you when I had the restaurant, Bully Burgers, right?
Well, just before you opened it, we met.
Okay,
and then you told me that you were opening it. Oh, you know what? I can't even remember.
So we met before.
We met before. Oh. It was somebody introduced me. It was at it was a mixer. At one of the commerce mixers.
Right.
The one back in
That's it.
Yeah. We met back there in the Marietta mixer.
Yeah.
And then you told me about Bully Burgers, and I was like, dude. And you told me that you like pit bulls. I was like, dude.
As soon as
you've been heard of it. So, but yeah, then
you
came and visited you.
You're right. Yeah, you've been there a bunch. For that short period of time.
Yeah, it was fun times, man. I mean, going through some stuff during that time too, but you know, you probably, I don't know if you see the difference between then and now.
Huge,
I really don't know.
Huge difference, but also I do, but I don't, because really what's coming to the surface, what I see, what I read, the energy that I know from day one is you are a people person, right? That's who you are. That's why me and you could sit there and talk the first time, just roll. It's just so natural. And that's one of the reasons I had to get you on, man. I had to have you on because I know that your story, and I know my story, right, isn't about me. It's really about someone that I know might be able to relate to this. And I always tell people, take what works and throw out the rest, right?
I like that.
That's what works.
Eat the meat, spit out the bones.
So let's talk. Let's go back a little bit though.
How far?
Growing up, right?
Looks
nervous.
Oh boy.
Growing up, your dad was a Marine.
Yes.
Right. So I'm sure it was pretty strict.
That's not even a
That's
question.
not even. That's an understatement of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So
we were treated as Marines. We were IT as kids.
Okay.
Intensive training. We were up, down as kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give us a little more behind the curtains on that. So
muscle failure.
Well, how many? Right.
I learned young what muscle failure was.
So how many brothers and sisters?
I have one brother, one sister. Brother's older, sister's younger.
So you're middle.
Middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fighter.
Yeah, you're a survivor. That's a survivor, and then learning how to thrive.
Right.
So, growing up, I mean, it was pretty intense?
It was alright. I mean, Pops was gone a lot, you know, so we kind of dealt with that. You know, when we moved out, he finally left the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And then we just kind of moved out around. You know, we settled down a couple places here and there, but finally settled down in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh.
But he was working a lot, you know, so we.
How long did he serve?
He served 10.5 years.
Any wartime, or was that
No,
in
it was
between?
all peacetime.
Okay, all
Yeah,
peacetime.
in between. Yeah.
All right.
So he doesn't. We've been talking about some things, so he doesn't really understand this.
Yeah.
So,
no, I get you.
I've been kind of explaining to him some things, and
he's never lived it.
no.
Yeah.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but you know, he educated me all my life. Now I can educate him on a couple things here and there. But I try not to use it as a crutch. You know, the stuff that I've been through.
No,
I try and use it as an education.
Okay.
So I mean, there's many times where I've taken her around, like at restaurants and stuff like that. People look at me and try and kick me out.
Really?
Yeah, so I have to educate them.
Yeah.
Instead of turn around and soothe them instead.
Yeah.
Which I could.
Yeah, and it's or any of that negative, or you're going to take the high road.
Right. I just educate them. Look, you know, this is the deal.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But growing up, man, it was different. I got into some stuff, you know, when I was 13. My parents got divorced when I was around 10, 11 or so. You know, right after we moved to Ohio, they were going through a divorce.
Okay.
And then she moved down to Florida, so I was back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, but one time when I was about 13, I wanted to stay down there with her.
Right.
Yeah, that was bad.
I
was stealing, shooting, and I was doing a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I was a little hoodlum.
Yeah.
As I called it.
Right. Yeah.
So
there's just you just let loose.
a little bit. Oh, well, not a little bit. Almost got in a fight with my stepfather. He was 10 years younger or older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost went outside. I was like, I ain't stupid. Go away. But that turned around a lot because my mother pretty much was like, I'm done. She called my pops. He drove 16 hours from Florida, or all the way to Florida from Ohio.
She's like, I just can't
straight
do anything with him.
And he came and snatched me up.
Really?
Yeah, I went home with him.
Okay, so that probably saved you.
It probably did.
Yeah.
But I still had a lot of issues. I mean, still kind of getting into mess when I was a kid. I recently told him. I never told him, but I was skipping a lot in high school, like between my freshman and sophomore year.
Man, welcome.
So
welcome to the
club, right? And smoking, drinking, all that.
Yeah.
And my junior year, I buckled down. You know, I was like, I'm tired. So I did all my partying when I was a kid.
Okay, so you actually got that, and actually I did the same thing.
I turned it around.
Yeah.
So junior year, I turned it around and started getting my life together on my own. Yeah, I had
Where
to
do you
do
think
myself.
that came from?
I have no idea.
Really? Even today, if you look back,
I have no idea.
there was just a switch.
I just knew I had to change.
Okay.
I knew it.
Just going down the wrong road, and you mentioned something. You said you were tired.
I was.
You were just worn out of all the craziness.
It was pointless.
Right.
It was pointless. It's like it wasn't taking me anywhere.
Right.
And I realized that. Even at a young age, I realized that. And I was like, you know what? I got to change. I knew I was better than that.
Okay.
You know, and
how'd you get past the peer pressure? How'd you get past all your crew?
I was a popular guy anyway, so I didn't care.
Okay.
I was football, wrestling, track,
yeah,
like all that outside basketball, like street ball. I did a lot. I was very, very into sports.
Okay.
So everybody knew me.
Right.
So that, I guess that was a kind of a pusher for me too. Was like, you know, if I want to stay in sports, I gotta get it right.
Right. Because you're
kind of that.
At
so
the end of the day,
I don't know exactly what it was, but it was something.
It was probably a combination of that, right? It was a combination of that, and those sports built your self-image to where you can make that decision at that young age. That's how important your self-image is, because a lot of kids can't, or they think they can't because of their crew, of their people,
barriers, or like we talked about before, the fear factors.
Yeah,
you know,
it just stops people in their tracks.
It does.
But it's so interesting to hear from somebody that really didn't let that happen, even at such a young age.
But I mean, I'm not saying I didn't let it happen, because you know, down the road it happens. It happens to everybody.
No, but I mean, you didn't let that fear stop you from making that decision.
I had to change for myself.
And once, would you say this is accurate? Once you made that decision, it was on.
That's all.
Is that the key?
All the time.
Yeah.
It's always, and I love, and I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's all about making that decision.
Right.
So if somebody has that problem, like they're kind of messing with this idea, but they just like, it's just an idea at the time. But until they actually make the decision to do something, they can't go forward.
You're done.
Yeah. They can't. It's a roadblock.
I call it a buoy in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're just floating, hoping that a wave might catch you.
Without a motor.
Right? and where does that catch you? It gets you floating around. Right. Just you get
it's like the little sheep with this Pokemon Go game.
You get
like just all over the place.
Yeah. All it does is make you dizzy. So now we're out of high school. What made you? Did you get right into the Marines out of high school?
Immediately. Interesting story.
Yeah.
I did the first time because I actually had to go twice.
Okay.
Like in boot camp, which people are like, "What? You can't do boot camp twice in the Marine Corps." I'm like, I did. Well, because the first time I went for my dad. I went to honor him.
So your why was different.
Yes. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So I actually had surgery in high school because of my foot.
Okay.
5 weeks before I left.
Okay.
Before I graduated too. I left like right after I graduated.
Just a sports injury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, it was a cyst. A ganglion cyst that was inside my foot, so they pulled it out. Well, needless to say, I could walk, but I wasn't 100%. I wasn't even 50%.
Okay.
So, but I was walking.
But they threw you in?
No, they gave me the opportunity to stay for a little bit longer. I was like, no, I want to go. Well, there's factors behind that decision too.
Okay.
We'll get into that. But actually, that's not important now. Yeah. It's negative.
Yeah.
It's very negative.
That's right.
But so I went and cellulitis kind of got a hold of my foot, so it swelled up like a balloon. I couldn't walk, so they told me to go home. So month into boot camp, left out, rolled out. So I spent a whole year rehabilitating everything. Well, about 6 months rehabilitating my foot, making sure everything was good to go. And it came to the point where I actually left my house, left home. I was staying with my buddy's family, and was working full time, trying to go to school. So I was trying to make a different life outside of the military. And one time I was like, you know what? I was coming up with facing money issues, not being able to go to school because my dad made too much money the year before.
Life.
Life. My buddy's mom telling me you gotta start paying rent, and I'm like, I'm making like $200 a week. Are you serious right now? Like my paychecks are $400. Yeah, y'all don't know about that $400 like a month paycheck. You don't know about that. So the struggle was real.
I'm no mathematician.
Yeah, no, but the struggle was real back then. So I called the recruiter, and this is amazing. I called the recruiter. I said, pretty much, I said, look, it's coming down to that time. I said, you ready for this or no? I said, if you cannot get me in today, I'm done. Like, I'm completely done. I was making a decision which fork I was going to take.
Where's it going to go?
Yeah, where's that road going to go?
This is the line in the sand. Okay.
This joker called back 20 minutes later and said, let's go, we're leaving tonight.
Yeah, man, they're salesmen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are.
Yeah,
they are elite salesmen.
So, even though I still had the same issues with my foot, I mean, I went back to boot camp.
Okay.
You know, went through the whole thing. I still had problems with my foot, but they helped me out. They did. They actually helped me out. Yeah, believe it or not, the Marine Corps boot camp helped you out. Imagine that. They're not all just yelling at you and telling you to do stuff. They actually work with you.
Really?
So yeah, it was because I told them that I was prior. That I was here last year, and they were like, "Oh, that's different. It's a unique story for them." So they helped me out. and this is unheard of, but every time I ran, the drill instructor had a bag of ice for me, man. He's like, here, put it on, let's go. Like, he didn't want me to stop. He wanted me to keep going.
Yeah.
Well, through that, I was I was number 2 in the platoon.
Okay.
After that, the whole time. Like, throughout the whole time. Well, first I was number 1 until later on he had to give somebody else a chance.
Yeah.
Because I was rocking it, dude. I was rocking it.
So
like, I wasn't taking anybody. Like, no, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be number 1. Well, I ended up number 2.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay.
But you were just at home, huh?
Oh yeah.
From day one.
I had to finish what I started, man.
Okay.
But this time it was for me.
Yes. So your why changed, right? Because you're at the end of the day.
I just wanted to finish.
Right. Even though it was your dad, it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't.
It wasn't enough. And you know me, it's all about the why, right? If your why ain't big enough, go away and figure out where that why comes from, right? And that's really what you did without even identifying it.
Really?
So now it is wartime when you're in boot camp?
No.
Oh, it's not wartime. Okay.
No, they didn't really get into that until like 2001.
Okay. When did you go in? When did you go into boot? The second time?
98.
Okay. Okay. So then you're in the Marines, right? And you're moving up, I guess, moving up the ladder.
Well, going to school and everything. Yeah.
Moving up the ladder.
Moving up the ladder.
Then what happens when wartime hits?
There was no question. We're going.
It was just on, huh?
It was you're going.
Yeah.
I mean, anxiety hits. You know, you got your adrenaline. You got all your what ifs running through your head. Right. Some people are like, well, I'm not scared. But like, you're stupid.
No, it's just,
no. I'm sorry, but there is a fear factor when it comes to wars, and that's where you and I had a similar mindset when it comes to this. You may be scared, but are you going to have that courage to step up and push through that fear? Yes. Because at the end of the day, it's either you or me.
It's so.
I mean, I love you, brother, but if we're at war, if me and you are at war, it's either you or me.
Right.
And I'm not dying.
Right. And let me ask you this.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this.
That's the truth.
I don't know if I shared this story in my keynote or not, but my ex-father-in-law, who I'm still close with, right?
You haven't shared this.
Okay, was First Force Recon in Vietnam.
Nice.
And just we hit it off. We were like buddies, not even like father and son-in-law. And he was also 25 years of detective in the state police organized crime. So we just connected right from day one.
You and your little himself? No.
Well, I remember talking to him one day, right? He comes over, he's going to stay for the weekend, and we're talking. And I just said, you know, Jim, I always wonder, as a man, what would I do in that situation? Because I never served and I was never at war. You're thinking that as a man, right? And he just looked over, he goes, you'll be fine. I go, what makes you say that? Just so matter of fact, he goes, first of all, I know who you are, I know your character. He says, but number 2, he goes, you don't do it for you. You do it for him, and you do it for him. Yep. So is that
it's
accurate?
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
And at the end of the day, that becomes your why, right? Obviously, you don't want to die. You don't want to get hurt. But it's also the ones shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. And I learned so much with just hanging out with those guys at Warfighter Made. You know, so much behind the curtain. I'm a civilian. Didn't know. You know, it's absolutely amazing. So now you get the call. You're going over. You going to Iraq or Afghanistan?
We went to Iraq in 03.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting because by trade I was a UAV operator. I mean, I wasn't, and I can honestly say this, I wasn't as good as my job, like at that job, as I was being a Marine. Okay. I was a Marine rifleman first, and I performed at that. I was a Marine. Okay. But a UAV operator. Yeah.
What is that for people that don't know?
Spy planes.
Okay.
I mean, just be unmanned aerial vehicle. Okay. You know those drones that people are flying around in a big scale.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I did. I flew those. Oh. Like I said, I wasn't as good as everybody else, but I was a better Marine. Yeah. Than I was an operator.
Which a lot of times just really means overachiever.
Yeah, right? Pretty much.
Figure it out.
I was promoted above my peers. I was. When I went through schools, I was number 1, number 2, number 3. I was always performing above that, but it's just the performance on the outside as far as my job wise. I don't know if it was just the fact that I didn't really care about it so much as I did being a Marine, or just I just wasn't able to. I don't know the difference or what it was, but it doesn't really matter. Exactly. Because when I went over, they actually pushed me over to the grunts. Okay. So I was with the initial push with 5th Marines, and I was with them.
Well, they said you're a blue collar dude.
Apparently, but they don't look at it like that. They just said, you know what? You know, even though I was over there as a liaison for my unit, No, you're a Marine first. And I was like, hey, finally.
Right.
Finally, I get to
Right.
do what I want to do.
Right.
You know, and I performed no problems with, you know.
Now, was the tours, especially the first one, was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it much different? Was there different, like, I mean, look, you're going in,
I'm
right?
sorry, but I understand what you're saying. And no thoughts, no fears, no, can it be like this, or what if it's going to be like this? It can't compare to the reality.
Okay.
It can't.
You just,
It can't.
and that makes, I mean, anything else actually doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
That makes sense. Because,
Right. You can't compare it.
yeah,
And you can't compare it, like, over there. I mean, without getting into too much detail,
yeah.
you cannot match the adrenaline, the life-threatening adrenaline
On a daily basis.
on a daily basis that you get over there. You cannot match it back here. And that's why we have, and this is getting into some of the things that I'm looking at, that's why we have a lot of issues that we have with the veterans today.
Okay.
Because they want to match that adrenaline.
Okay.
Because it's a feeling that they never felt before.
Yes. Yes.
That's why a lot of times you see you wonder, I want to go back. Like, but there was camaraderie, there was adrenaline, there was brotherhood. I mean, you were doing something every single day. You were being a man, as some people say, a man.
Yeah.
You know, but you were doing your job every day. But your job was very intense. The excitement levels, everything, whether it's negative or positive, it was elevated to the point where it was off the charts.
Yeah, it just, there's nothing like it.
It's nothing.
And you're never going to be able to, you know, I remember speaking to a guy that flew fighter planes, I think it was in Vietnam or Korea, and he said when he got back, the only thing close, right, because he couldn't do it professionally, the only thing close, and he said he just went right to street bikes, you know, just, I mean, just because it was, and he goes,
You say that, man, oh my God.
He said it paled in comparison.
Yep.
But, I mean, obviously a fighter jet, right?
I'm right there with him, though.
That's what he said.
I'm right there with him. It's not a death wish.
No.
It's just at that time.
It's a state. It's a state.
I couldn't. Only bikers know that.
And it's a state. But also on top of your experience of being over there with the ultimate adrenaline rush.
It's a release. It
right?
Really is.
It's the ultimate adrenaline rush. And not that we're going to compare it by any means, but when you talk to these retired MMA fighters, right? They're like, what do I do? Where do I go? Because I can't walk out to a 30,000 person crowd screaming and yelling. They close the gate and I don't get locked up for this.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
That's exactly it. So now let me ask you this: what you're 2 or 3 tours in? How difficult is it to reacclimate back to this slow lifestyle, if you will? Right?
I was dealing with some stuff, and I don't really expect anybody to really accept this or understand.
It, right?
But I was dealing with some stuff that I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has to be.
I was driving down the road sometimes, you know, because I would take trips, you know, go back home, and you know, get all that. But I didn't want that. I just wanted to be left alone. Yeah. And there was some.
Because you're confused. Would that?
No, not so much confused, but it's just like you've been gone for so long.
Okay.
I mean, whether it be 7 months to a year,
right.
however long it was, you would be gone for that long. Things have changed. You changed. Like it's the world just keeps going on and on and on as is, but you leave, your world stops, and you go to a different world.
A completely
different world. So you do what you got to do here,
right?
And you come back to where you left off, but everybody's up here.
And then let's take it 10,000 steps further.
Because you got to catch up.
You weren't on vacation. It's not like you were in the Fiji Islands on the beach.
I wish.
No,
that would be nice.
Let's really, right? Let's be real. Not only did they change, did everything around it change? Yeah. You changed,
and they look at you like you're not the same. And this is the same. This is the exact words of my pops. You're not the same Willie I know.
Can't be. It's impossible.
And I'm like, dude, for real? I've been through some shit, man. Excuse me, but
no, this is Monster Motivator. We make shit happen here, brother. But you can't. It's impossible, right? Even in our world, not in the military world, going through stuff that you go through like an entrepreneur. Like I said, you're either gonna be a victor or a victim. It's one or the other, man. And victims never win.
No, they don't.
Never ever win. You know, and same thing, right? People say, well, you had that restaurant and it didn't roll out the way you thought it was going to be. That wasn't the original plan. How did you bounce back? Because this is life, man.
It is. And
This
when you were talking about your story, man,
Yeah.
it was amazing. I see how easy it was to bounce back. Check this out. This
Yeah.
is we were in, I'm a network marketer.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing that since 2000. But I finally found something that could actually make me some money.
Something you really connect with. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a higher purpose behind what I do.
Mhm.
Everything I do is for one goal, and
Right.
we'll talk about that.
And that's your why.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But it did all this
Yeah.
plays into it. But one guy told me one time, he said, because you know how you have the rank structures, he was a senior vice president in the company. And he was up teaching, he said one thing. He said, when you were younger and you started out with this business, everybody says no. It's detrimental. Like when you first start out, it's detrimental.
It's tough.
It's like when somebody says no, you're like, what do I do now? Mentor, they said no, what do I do? But he was saying, he said that he had to overcome that over time. And as you overcome stuff like that, you're building your personality. You're building your
character.
You're building everything. You're changing yourself.
Everything.
So when you get to the point where you can actually be like, no, it's like whatever. But he said the way he said it, he said you have to get that to that SVP status. When somebody says no, you look down at your shoe. I mean, he's all classy. So he's got the nice tight suit and everything. He said he put his hands in his pocket. He looked down at his shoes. He's like, kind of moved his toe around a little bit. And he just looked down. He's like, you know what? Whatever. He's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he keeps moving forward.
Yeah.
But he's looking at himself. He's just looking at himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, where all this time that I've done this, where have I been to? But like, you got to think about what he's thinking about though.
Yeah.
It's like all this time. How much did it take for me to get to where I'm at now?
Yeah.
It's like a no doesn't even matter at that point.
And I look at it as you just saving time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on. Right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. A little kid doesn't waste time.
Right.
So we need to act that not act as a child, but
You do.
be like
No.
a child.
Absolutely.
And just like yes, no, don't waste my time. Yes or no.
Right.
And then keep moving.
It just bounces off you.
Keep moving.
And I'm a firm believer in the multi-level marketing world. My belief is, looking from the outside in, is too many people try and focus, just like social media. I have 80 million followers. Okay, great, but if you're not connecting with those, what good is it, right? So if you could have all those people in your downline, but nobody's doing anything, or would you rather have those 10 people that are superstars? I mean, that's the bottom line.
Because
so
they
kind
know
of
people you don't know.
right, and they're willing to put the work in.
Yeah.
They're willing to put the work in.
Sweat equity.
So coming back now, let's touch a little bit on your being a civilian. You went back over, right? You couldn't get enough.
Well, it was an opportunity that I had to take because
right.
when I was getting ready to get out in 07, the boss, the man that was up at the top, it was a civilian.
Okay.
He was I was in safety. I was a ground safety manager at my unit, and he was the ground safety manager
As a civilian.
I was a Marine still.
Okay.
Because we employed the Marines to do certain jobs, that kind of thing. But then I didn't realize that job would actually build me up to where I was going to be.
Okay.
So I called him up, and I was messing around. I was literally just messing around. I was like, look, man, I'm getting out pretty soon. You got something for me?
Wow.
Just clowning. I literally was just messing with him. And he was like, well, actually, I do. And I was like, what? What? Like, for real?
Be careful what you wish.
Yeah, right? And he said, can you make it up here tomorrow? I'm like, bird?
Wow.
For real?
Man.
Like, what?
He's like,
So I just looked at my boss. I said, hey, I'll be down in Miramar tomorrow. He's like, okay.
that's called putting you on blast.
Right. So I went down there, and he just said, hey, look, man, this is what you need to do to take care of it. And a lot of people say it's not what you know, it's who you know, but it depends.
It's a combo.
Because I had the experience behind me.
Yeah.
He's watched me work. He's watched me bust my tail down at that unit level, and he wanted that word with him.
You earned it.
So I did.
That's the bottom line.
I did.
You earned it.
And he brought me on board, and I literally I was loyal to him, man, just for doing that. I was so loyal to him. I didn't want anything else. I just wanted to work.
Okay.
So, and I did. I was a tactical safety specialist, which means it's a safety specialist, but I still deployed with the units. So anytime a unit requested me, I'd be out in the field.
Okay.
I'd be doing the exact same thing that I did when I was in.
When you were.
What the heck's wrong with me, man? So, but did the exact same thing that I was in when I was in, but at a higher level.
Wow.
At an extremely higher level.
And 4 different tours.
4 additional tours on top of that. I put it like this. This is how quick it went. I jumped in August of 07. I deployed in 08.
Wow. They weren't playing.
And then deployed again in 2010.
Right.
For 2 tours back to back.
And how long were the tours?
No, they were limited at 6 months, so we could only be there for 6 months.
So you did a year because you did back to back.
Yeah, the second time I did back to back, so I had to come back and go back out.
Wow.
So and then again in 2014.
That's the last.
That was
6 months.
No, that one actually because they were closing down one of the stations that we were at, one of the main stations. Yeah. And this is what happens as things got smaller. So did the outside came in with it. So we were getting a lot of attention.
Oh, they were starting to kind of
close
the circle.
I'm not lying. It took me back to 03, dude.
Did it?
Yeah.
Just because
I was flipping out. There was times where, and of course, not getting into too much detail. Yeah. But trust me, details are extreme when I start. You don't want me to get into those. I'll be in a corner, crawled up like a little baby or something. Right. But without joking. The incoming that was coming is just like in the middle of the night they would actually do explosions. They were detonations, and we had incoming. So, but in the middle of the night you wake up, you're wondering if the next one's gonna hit you. Like that's where your mind goes to. Yeah. And they wouldn't. This time I usually carried weapons, but they wouldn't give me the weapon this time. So pretty much what happened through all that, So I was helpless. Even at that time, I was helpless.
Even with your experience, they wouldn't.
I was helpless. Wow. So it was just this time they said you don't need it this time. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Because for the civilians, it's personal protection. Yeah. For what we go through. Yeah. We were the only DOD that actually went through and got weapons. We were the only DOD people that did that. Yeah. Everybody else, they were just typical civilians, contractors, whatever. We were DOD employees. Yeah. So we were the only ones that carried weapons.
But then this
except for the like the security contracts. Other than that, but we were the only ones. So, but this time they were like, don't worry about it. So, but the commanding general pretty much looked at everything. He's like, look, we're downsizing. We're getting a lot more attention. All the non-essential employees, like the civilians, can go away. Wow. So my boss stayed because it was either me or him. Yeah. Either me or him. Either he was going, I was staying, or I was going and he was staying. He let me leave.
So you left?
Yeah.
After how long?
2 or 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't that bad, but it was the intense just took me right back.
That one. Now, how long?
It messed me up, man.
So when you came back,
I told him right away, I'm never going back again.
And then when you came back, you just had to.
That's when she came into play.
Now, let's really. I want you to share this. What does she do for you?
Well, she blocks. She keeps people from sneaking up on me. Okay. And when initially what she was doing, because she doesn't really do it so much anymore, because I'm okay with this. I take meds. So
yeah. Listen, man.
Yeah, I don't give a shit pills.
Right.
But what she used to do is like when I was actually going through a lot of stuff, I didn't want to get up. I seriously did not want to get up. I was like in that state where some people call it depression. I don't know what the heck it was at the time, but I was like, I'm done. Like I'm through. Yeah. And I actually went through counseling back in 2012. This is when she wasn't even a service animal, but I was going through counseling back then. I went through a lot of counseling, and that's why I'm able to actually be able to talk to you about this stuff right now. I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail, but that'll mess me up a little bit.
It works you through.
I'm able to work through it. I mean, I'm getting a little sweaty right now, but it's okay. What she did, well, back in 2012, I was going through my counseling and went through a 12-week program. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a low point where I was the lowest I've ever been in my life. Right. So I don't know what brought me out. I can only thank God.
So when did you get her?
I had her then. She wasn't a service animal. Oh. She was a pet.
Oh, she was your girl.
Yeah. I've had her for 5 years.
You turned her into a service animal.
I turned her into a service animal.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
So yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. So when I got back in 2014, so she was there for that. Yeah. But the low point, we're not going to get into that. But in 2014, when I came back, I had another puppy. I had one for a couple years, a little blue nose. Oh, yeah. So she was very sensitive to me. That was my baby. I had her for a month since she was a month old, and I was ball feeding her.
And you had her?
Yeah, I still had her. Yeah. Okay. And she raised her, that kind of thing. But when I came back in 2014, I actually started looking into service. Service animals, stuff like that. The VA helped me out. They gave me a nice little letter saying, hey, we recommend you to have one because I was going through some stuff that time. But I wanted to train my blue nose. But she was so sensitive, she wouldn't let anybody near me. So you understand how that is. Yeah. She wouldn't let anybody near me. Yeah. So, because I was going through some stuff. Right. But, so she wasn't able to become a service animal, so I had to take her back. And then I was like, okay, let me try her. But she was old. She was like 8 years old at the time.
And you know,
so I was like, I don't know about this, man. Like, she's old.
but they
So
man.
it was something else. I took her in, and you know they do temperament tests before they let any dog be a part of the program. So they do temperament tests without you. Mm-hmm. So they took her around there, and then they brought her back. They were like, she rolled over and just like played with me. Yeah. Like, she's good. So she pretty much turned around and looked at me, and she had this demeanor like, bruh, it's not that serious. Calm down.
We got you.
Yeah, it's like, relax, dude. Relax.
I got you. Yeah.
She had that demeanor, so that calmed me down.
You could see it in her eyes.
Yeah, yeah. She just looked at you like,
even it's funny. Even when I raise my I get excited when I see her. Look at that pretty girl. Look at that, and she just like, I know. You know, I know. And you know, as a dog guy, right? I can even go in a little deeper because I have a blue nose. But what a lot of people don't realize is because the big thing is people want big, muscular blue nose, right?
Yeah,
well, in order for that to happen, way back they had to pull from the mastiff world, right? Yep. And that's why, and they're a state protection.
Well, animals. She's I think I don't know exactly what she's mixed with, but she's 90 pounds. Yeah. So she might be mixed with mastiff.
Well, I know the blue nose probably is, and that's what makes them so protective, right? Versus a lot of times the red nose, only because the red nose comes mainly from that pit fighting world, which they have to be, like, you can't have it, if they're fighting their dog, right, and their dog turns on them, it's counterproductive.
Yeah, that's
so
down. Yeah.
Right. The blue nose from that mastiff infusion, like my
points the direction.
Yeah, my dog will protect his property like crazy, right? And the guy that brings the water is like, damn man, I'm glad that's locked. You know, but I'd like to go a little deeper in that. But so, what has she done to change your life?
Man, that time when I was like, I don't want to do anything, she would sit at the door and howl at me until I got up. Okay. Once I got up, I was fine.
Yeah, she just said,
just get up.
There's no option.
No. And I couldn't shut her up.
And she read the energy.
And there's times, yeah. Oh, this is amazing though. Yeah. There's times where, and I read her. Now I'm learning to, because she's only been a service animal for since 2015, since February 2015. She turned 9. Okay. So, but I'm learning to read her more. So what she does, and this is interesting. I don't even have to tell her. She senses the environment, and if I'm talking to somebody that has a different agenda or has a different spirit, different energy, she'll come in the middle of us. She'll come right in the middle of us, and she'll just stand there. And I'm learning to read that more. She did. I was actually dating this one girl for a week, right? And we went to the park just to sit down, chill out. You know, Sandy was on this side of me. You know, it's like the girl was like here. But she was about the same distance. Sandy came around and right in the middle of us and sat down.
She just felt
I'm just like, what's going on? Come to find out, that girl was a gold digger. Yeah. Was she
like
for real gold digger?
Yeah. Did she feel that energy? That's why they can be trained to know if you're gonna have seizures.
She's awesome,
right? They just lay on top of you. It's absolutely amazing. And that's, as humans, we're so detached from nature, right? That's why the tsunami killed all the humans, where all the animals ran 2 weeks ago. And they're like,
oh, they knew what was happening.
Yeah. They're a little 7-second delay. They're saying to humans, right?
By the way, tsunami, run.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be here next week.
Hope I can swim.
So let's jump ahead a little bit now. You've been through all this. You're working through all this. Now you become an entrepreneur. So I know you don't learn your lesson.
Man, I've been through so much,
right? So now you're going to be an entrepreneur. Now let's talk about your business you have now, right?
Okay.
Because I think that's really important for people to see what you do, right? What I love is you take all the excuses away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly,
there are no
that's
excuses.
what I love. But
either you are or you're not.
Look what you've been through. Let's figure it out and let's move on. So you're in a multi-level marketing business now, right? Yes. And I know it's the travel industry.
It is.
So what do you do for people? How do you create value?
Travel. Okay. Just basically travel. Okay. Everybody wants to travel.
So if anybody wants to travel or they're not sure.
Everybody wants to travel. 100% of the people want to travel. Either they have traveled or they want to travel in the future. Okay. Because everybody, we go through the basic, idea of when people are at work, what do they think about? Not being at work. Yeah. They do their job because they have to. Right. They're working to get to that vacation. Yeah. But when I reach people, like for instance, when I reach people that say, I do my job because I love it. I'm like, really? You love it? Tell me why. So So I get them to tell me why they love it, and if they truly love it, I leave them alone. Like, bro, congratulations, you found something you can do that you don't see it as a job or a career or
You're winning.
Like that.
You're winning. You're winning.
You are winning,
right?
Yeah, I don't care how much I pay you. You're winning.
Okay. So if I come to you and I want to travel, what do you do? Do you set up?
I can book travel.
Okay.
Like we partner with Priceline.
Okay.
So we have a booking engine that you could even go onto my site and actually book it yourself if you want to.
Okay.
You know, because for airlines and stuff like that, if you want to just do a basic hotel, you just go on there and book it yourself.
And then we're gonna tell them before we jump off where to get in touch with you, right? And if anybody has any questions or jumped on, let me know. But so
there's more to it.
Yeah,
there's so much more to it.
Right, and that's if they reach out to you, they want to know. Right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have a program that's called the Platinum Club.
Okay.
So what that does is that somebody can actually become a member of the Platinum Club. It is a small, monthly fee to be a part of that Platinum Club. But what happens? You can shop online.
Okay.
You can even buy business Visa cards, prepaid Visa cards. You can also actually buy gift cards for people. But what that does, every dollar that you spend, you get 2 points to go towards your next future travel.
Okay.
So if you, like, say for instance, you wanted to spend $100 on a gift card to somebody, you go ahead and you buy the gift card, so the money's already spent.
Right.
So you get 200 points right off the bat towards your next travel.
Building up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Building your.
And mostly everybody does online shopping anyway. So and you talking about the amount of manufacturers and the amount of suppliers that are within that industry. I mean, there's thousands.
There's
like 18,000 stores that you can go online and shop with.
Yeah,
all you gotta do is just search it. And it's for a small fee. I mean, you're literally gonna be able to travel for free in the near future.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. For doing the thing you do every day, anyways.
It's just endless. So we're going to show them how to get in touch with you. Let's do this before we jump off. Somebody that has a fear barrier of getting into a business, or that single mom that is trying to get out of that rut, or that guy that's in that corporate world trying to get out of that rut, or the vet that's coming back trying to get acclimated. Give me some golden nuggets, man. What are you going to tell people?
Oh my goodness,
there's so many things that
Yeah, there's so many things that you can say, because I mean, I'm looking at myself. A lot of times people say certain things. I want to do research. Okay. It's a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme, stuff like that. Well, there is a single golden nugget when it comes to that. Everybody in this world that has a job is in a pyramid scheme. Yeah, and it's the worst pyramid scheme ever, because you are paying taxes on something, you're working for somebody else's vision. And I'll say vision for a reason, because that's what my company's name means. Yeah. So you're working for their vision instead of actually working for your own. And that's what entrepreneurship really is to me. Yeah. You actually step out and you want to work for you and your family. Right. You want to work for what's important to you. You want to be able to make that decision for yourself, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and how much you want to pay.
Which I always say, what's the definition of success?
Yeah.
It's living life on your terms.
It's living life on your terms. But see, a lot of people don't understand that, and this is a little plug from a ministry, life and living, man. Okay. Life and living. That's what it's all about. Being in life, being
What's your ministry?
Living. Well, it's actually a ministry I'm a part of. It's called Life and Living International.
Okay.
So, and that's what we believe in.
Is that
actually
local?
Reaching out, yes.
Okay.
And that's believes which is reaching out to local people and moving out to the community. Not necessarily meeting at a place,
right?
Actually reaching outward, just like Jesus did, man. He went out. He was walking everywhere. So he didn't have one place.
So that's important, right? Because these vets or these people that are connecting with you and your story, you have a whole nother outlet for them.
I got so many different things that I'm going forward to. I mean, everything that I'm doing is actually working towards, even the network marketing, the ministry, the schooling that I'm going through, because I'm going through school. I'm almost finished. I'll graduate in April. Business with entrepreneur background with a cert. So, but all this stuff is actually leading to one thing, and it's a vision that I've had. I mean, network marketing, I don't care how you do it. A lot of people say, and then we'll step back for a second. When people are talking about what they want to do, how to do it, I don't care how you do it. Own a business. Just own a business. Whatever business it is, just own it. Because that way you can actually get back money. You can actually take care of yourself. Yeah. Own a business. That's it. I don't care what you do. Right. But get past that fear barrier. Stop working for somebody else's stuff, and then move forward to what you want in your life. So, what's up?
Oh no, Lisa James. I would think that the idea of working for someone else isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes the dream job is working for an organization.
You know what? Everyone has their own DNA.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was saying. If you are actually truly love your job, hey, by all means, enjoy your time. If you love what you do it with passion, do it with excitement, and just do it. You know, but if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not knocking it. I was in a career for many years. I worked for the government for many years, so trust me, I know. But everything that I'm doing, I hope that answers your question or your statement. But everything that I'm doing is leading up to one thing, and that's the what I call a veteran support center.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah, you didn't know about this.
Yeah.
So, and I'm actually sitting down with Mr. Normello tonight to kind of go over some things.
Okay. Yeah.
But and this is just the basic vision that I have. I want a hub, and I know we're running short of time, but I want a hub where every veteran can come to relax. I'm gonna have professional listeners. So that they can just talk to people, kind of like just doing what you're doing right now, listening to me, and not saying anything else. That's what they're gonna have for them, so they can actually get stuff off their chest. You're gonna have, and they're gonna, and trust me, those listeners are gonna be had to have gone through some stuff so they can actually understand. Right. But they're not counseling. Right. They are not counseling. So they're just listening. That's it. And then I'm actually gonna have areas where they can go to sleep if they want to. It's just pretty much a place to get away, play video games, watch movies, read, do whatever they want to do. And I'm gonna have more stuff along with it. That's just the basic stuff.
Kind of like a clubhouse.
Kind of like a USO.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because we had that overseas, and we had that when we're traveling, but we don't have it here.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
We have a lot of network. I mean, not network marketing, but we have a lot of nonprofit organizations that do things like Warfighter Made. You know, and a few of my other buddies have nonprofit organizations that support the veterans, but they're very specific in what they do. There is no hub. Where, I mean, you have the Veterans Center, but that's supported by the VA, and that's only for counseling. Yeah, they may have some information here and there, but they don't have it all. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to reach out to every nonprofit organization in Southern California, literally everyone, and get their information, get what they do to support, like every details, and actually put it within a database. And anytime that somebody needs something, that's going to be available for them. And create, you know, it's all and just I mean. Create that big umbrella for whatever it is you need, man. I love that. I mean, that's my vision. I love it. I was telling because right now in the current class I'm going through is we're actually doing business plans. So I'm in the process of writing my business plan as I'm going through school. Yeah, but it's part of the school and it's part of my business. I'm using this. Everything that I do in school is literally going towards the Veteran Support Center. I already got my logo. You know, I've already got all the ideas set up, you know, as far as what I want to do. Now all I got to do is actually tighten it up, and that's where some of the mentorship is where I'm lacking. So, you know, I'm pretty decent as far as with the marketing, but I'm still lacking in some of these skills. That's all right. So that mentorship is what I need. Yeah, you surround yourself with the right people. Yeah. And I just want to go a little bit deeper on Lisa's comment. You know, I firmly believe that, take it even a step further, the majority of people really have no business being an entrepreneur because it's truly not in their DNA, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Really what it boils down to is raising your own level of awareness, understanding who you are, what are your strengths, enhance your weaknesses, and then figure that out. Yeah. So if that is working for somebody, right, then that's where you need to be. Yeah, because if everybody was an entrepreneur, we wouldn't really be doing too much in this country. And it's just who would we employ? It just takes. And on the flip side, right? I can't be that guy that walks into the same office every day, the same place. So that's not my world, right? And other people need that, right? And that's okay. But it all comes down to understanding your own self-awareness, your own level of awareness. So I'm glad Lisa brought that up because it's so, especially now with the internet. Everyone and their grandmother wants to be an entrepreneur because they think it's cool, or they think it's the new thing to do. The startup companies, right? It's so easy now to get. You're telling everyone you're going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg, right? This is what I'm going to do, right? And people start giving you money, but and Gary Vee talks about this a lot, and it's so important to understand that okay, they're giving you money, but you better be able to produce. Right. And if you do produce, understand they just bought a piece of your company. Yep. So you know, there's gonna be something coming out. Yeah, it's always a tit for tat world. Yeah. Always. There's no free lunch. No free lunch. No. So before we jump off, where can they find you? Oh, my website is Sweven SWEVEN. Okay. .vacation.com. Okay. Or you can even call me, text me, 951-786-8972. And then what about social media? Facebook. I'm on Facebook, William E. You guys have seen it, so William E. Boudrow III. If you just type my last name, you'll see all my family. Are you Instagram? And I'm there. I'm Instagram. Snap? Yeah, I'm on Snap too.
Man,
So, but just hit me up and I'll go ahead and send you whatever area you need. But or we can even include on the I'll put it out to you so you can push it out.
And if you just want to talk,
I'm on everything.
Right?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all that. So yeah, if you just want to talk, this is huge. If you just want to talk, if you're a veteran out there and you have some issues on your mind, look, I've been through a lot, and I don't even want to go into detail because we just don't need to do that right here.
but reach out.
But get a hold of me. I don't mind. I don't care what time it is. If you need to talk, I understand that some people just don't get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I've been through it. So even since I was a young kid, man, I've been through a lot. A lot of people say that I got wisdom of a 60-year-old, and I'm only 38.
And that's
So
the
it's like-
best compliment you could ever hear, my man.
Yeah, but sometimes it's really tough dealing with what I deal with. My girlfriend, man, she deals with so much with me.
But I'll tell you what, though,
It's crazy.
it is what it is. But this is what this show's all about: reaching out, connecting with people, and understanding that your story is about them.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, man. I believe everything that I've been through because I understand it. I know it.
Mhm.
You know, I've lost my mother when I was 20. You know, I don't have much family. I got my dad and my grandma. That's it. That's all I got. I got my brother and sister. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, so I know I've been through that. I mean, I'm not a counselor and I never will be, but I know. I understand. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
And what I love about it,
and just pushing it
see
forward.
what I love about it, it's not theory.
It's
And that's
not.
what I tell people.
It's
When
not.
I come to talk or I share my workshops, this ain't theory. This is real world, real life, or real world, real life results. So before we jump off, Monster Motivator TV, we are a mobile live stream TV show locally in the SoCal area. If you know anybody, nonprofit, entrepreneur, business owner, anybody that's making a difference in their community, have them reach out, have them jump on our calendar, get on our calendar so we can do an episode and really create the value and give back. That's what we're all about. We're about giving back, and I'm all about real life, real world wisdom. And my man, don't get any better than that. I want to thank you for taking the time. Thank you for coming out, and we always stay connected, as you know.
Always.
Anything he could do, don't hesitate to reach out. If you can't find him, I know where to find him. Reach out to me, and that's what we're here for. Guys, thanks so much. Keep making it happen.
As he does it, go to the gym.
Oh man, thank you, brother.